to this session of English. And today we will discuss another poem, Often in the Stilly Night, written by Thomas Murray. Yes, so in this particular poem, the poet writes the feelings of an old man who is in the juncture of his last stage of life, and he who lives in an old age home, and there how he feels, memorizing all his past days, because when one gets old, he will have no hope of life, no dreams, no enthusiasm, no dreams at all in his life. Okay, but he lives with his dreams. He lives with his memories. But we people live in our dreams, live with our dreams. But those old people will live in their memories. Okay, so sometimes they feel sad, sometimes they feel happy. Yes, how? So here Thomas Murray is an Irish poet from Ireland who is a political propagandist. That means he who speaks in public meetings about on the public leaders or the political leaders, and he is a composer. And in this poem, he reflects, he brings some light of the people, the old people, okay, in the last stage of their life. Yes. So, oft in the stilly night. So, oft means often. Often means sometimes. Or not always. Okay, often means not always. It is sometimes. Okay, but in a positive way. Okay, often is a positive term, and here oft means often in a stilly night. Stilly means calm, silent. Okay, so in calm night, often in the stilly night, that means that happens with that old man when he is alone. When he is alone and in a stilly night, okay, without any disturbance, when he is in that condition, what happens with him? So in the first stanza, he writes about the feelings of an old man. So in the first stanza he writes, often in the stilly night, ere slumber's chain hath bound me, fond memory brings the light of other days around me, the smiles, the tears of boyhood years, the words of love then spoken, the eyes that shone, now dimmed and gone, the cheerful hearts now broken. Okay, so this is the first stanza. And in this first stanza, he wants to narrate about the feelings of the old man, yes, who lives alone. So when he lives, that we will see in the next stanza. But here, often in the stilly night, often in the silent night, slumber. E-R-E, means before. Means soon before. Means before. Slumber. Slumber means sleep. Okay, before he goes to sleep, soon before he goes to sleep, he lies on his bed. But he was not asleep. He was lying on the bed. Okay, so at that particular moment, he memorizes. What he memorizes? He had no hope of life. He is at the last stage of his life. So, what he memorizes, he can't think about his future plans because the future is his death. Yes, but he memorizes because a long period is in front of him in the form of memory. Yes, so often in the stilly night, earth's slumber chain has bound me. Fond memory brings the light of other days around me. Fond memories. Fond memories means fond means lovely or that you like. Fond memories means that you like. Lovely, lovable, okay, liking. Okay, so fond memories or you can say favorable, that you feel favorable. So such memories come to his mind. When those memories come to his mind of other days around me, what is about other days? Other days means the days he had already lived. Okay, around me, no such day is in his life that he can memorize. He is remembering his past days. So other days means past days. Okay, he cannot memorize. We cannot memorize or we cannot remember our future days. Only we remember our past days. So here other days means the past days. Okay, so the past days he had already lived, that comes into his mind, and from those days when he memorizes his fond memories, favorable moments, lovable moments, okay, that he liked the most. What made him? Fond memory brings the light of other days around me. So in those fond memories, what are included? The smiles, the tears of boyhood years. So he remembers his own boyhood days when he was a boy. When he was a boy, he was so happy. So then he had cried, then he had smiled. And all these smiles and tears bring some happy moments in his life. Okay, those were happy moments when he was a boy. But now he also feels very happy when he memorizes his past days, his boyhood days. The smiles, the tears of boyhood years, the word of love then spoken. So, whoever was talking with him, he was talking in a lovable manner, lovely manner. Okay, so those words spoken were very much lovable. So those days were happy days. And when he memorizes those days, he feels very happy. And the eyes that shone. So when he memorizes when he was a boy and his eyesight was so bright. Okay, and his eyes were also shining. But now all are gone and all are ugly. Okay, so then when he was a boy, he had lived that life of being a boy, and he had a smile, he had tears, and those days were so happy. Okay, and he had bright eyes. He could see everything, anything. But now, what had happened? Now, dim and gone. Those eyes, those bright eyes are no more the eyes. Though eyes he had, he cannot see anything. Yes, those were dimmed and gone. Yes, they became useless. But then, when he was a boy, he had bright eyesight. Yes, and the cheerful hearts now broken. Then, when he was a boy, he was very much cheerful because then he had a great dream of his life. So he was very much cheerful. All over he could see success, success, success. But now, at this age, at this juncture of his life, he has no hope of life. Okay, no dreams, nothing. So he feels very sad. Okay, but he was very happy while he memorizes those days, but when he comes to the reality, what happens? Thus, in the stilly night, our slumber's chain hath bound me, sad memory brings the light of other days around me. So, the same, those lines are repeated here again, okay, in the stanza. So, here you can say these repeated lines are called refrain. Okay, that is called refrain. That means the lines repeated. The lines that are repeated in the stanza are called refrain. So here it is the only difference. There is the fond memory and here sad memory. So in the stilly night when he was alone, sometimes comes the sad memory, sometimes comes the happy memory. Yes, and the old man lives always in memories, however sad or happy. Clear? So, this is the life of an old man. Yes, he lives in his memories, but we people live in our dreams. Clear? Then, next stanza here is the next stanza here says, when I remember all the friends so linked together, I have seen around me fall like leaves in wintry weather. I feel like one who treats alone. Some banquet hall deserted, whose lights are fled, whose garlands are dead, and all but he departed. So here again you see he writes about present days. Yes, that was the memory when he felt very happy and sometimes sad. That means sad memories and happy memories. But now this is the reality. And in the reality also he remembers. What he remembers? Some banquet hall deserted. Sorry, when I remember all the friends so linked together. So when he was lying on the bed, he memorizes sometimes his boyhood days, sometimes his young days. Okay, then when he was very young, in his professional period of life, he had so many friends. He had made so many friends, acquaintances. Okay, so when he remembers all his friends, he feels very happy. But the friends so linked together, I have seen around me fall. But all the friends, those who were around him, those who were living together, had fallen one by one, had died one by one, like leaves in wintry weather. So when winter comes, then the leaves fall. That means the dead leaves fall from the trees or from the branches. So the same way, they were like a tree. They were, that means linked so close to each other, close to one another, that they had never thought of being separate. But time is powerful. Time made them separate. So one by one, when the time came, they fell, they died. Now the old man is alone. He is living a lonely life, but he lives in his dreams. He lives with his memories, not the dreams. He lives with his memories that he was a boy once upon a time. He was a young man once upon a time. He had so many friends. They lived together. These are the memories. So sometimes he feels happy, and the same thing, those things made him sad. Because then when he was a young man, then he had so many friends, but now being an old man, he had no friend. Yes, so the same situation, the same incident makes him happy and sad. The very moment he feels very sad. Yes, when he relates that moment with today's moment, he feels very sad. Okay, so I have seen around me fall like leaves in wintry weather, and now I feel like one. I feel like one. Here there is There are two meanings. I feel like one. So here it is one relates to lonely or alone, and another this one like the leaves. Okay, like a leaf that had fallen, and he feels like a leaf. Any day, any time, he may fall. Okay, understand? So I feel like one such leaf. Anytime, any moment, he may fall. Yes. So I feel like one who treats alone, but being alone. So alone, being alone, no friends with him. He is walking alone, and treats means walk. Treat means walk. Careful. Okay. He walks carefully, but when he was a young man or a young boy, he was running. But now he is very much careful about his walking, and as if he was counting his steps. Okay, so being old, now he is walking towards that place, but alone he is walking. And where he was walking and how he was walking, as if he was counting the steps. Some banquet hall deserted. Who treads alone? Some banquet hall deserted, whose lights are fled, whose garlands are dead, and all but he departed. So, in this stanza, the poet says about the life of the old man. Okay, and those were the memories, and these are the realities. And when he sleeps on the bed, he thinks about his present days, that when he had so many friends, but now he is alone, walking alone towards that banquet hall. Banquet hall means the dining hall where many people sit together and dine together. Okay, that is the banquet hall. So when he was young, then so many friends were coming together and sitting together and dining together. But now, whenever he was going to the dining hall, he was going alone. No friend was there with him. And he was sitting alone and feeling alone, lonely. Yes. So here he says that those memories, when he had so many friends and he was sitting in the banquet hall, but that banquet hall is looking empty. Okay. So the banquet hall dejected. Dejected means empty. Dejected means empty. Okay, so he is walking towards that banquet hall that is empty. No friend was there present, and then how he feels, whose lights are fled. So those banquet halls, those deserted banquet halls are empty, and there was no light. So here you can say whether there was no light or he could not feel the light. He could not see the light. Yes, because his eyes are gone. He could not see anything. Okay, he had no sight. That's why he calls that banquet hall deserted and banquet hall dark. Yes. So, whose lights are fled, whose garlands are dead. So the banquet hall was decorated with garlands. And now those garlands are dead. And again, in another meaning, you will see that there were photographs of his friends, okay, in that old age home. And there were some garlands. And those garlands were dead. But the photographs are there. And whose garlands dead, and all but he departed. All but he departed. All have departed. Departed means gone. Gone or died. Okay, so all have departed. All his friends have died, but he was living. Okay, he is living, but all his friends had died. So, what a situation comes in one's life. Okay, so that is the reality of human life. So, one day or the other, you will be alone. Though you had so many acquaintances, so many friends around you in your youth days, but one day will come when you will be old, nobody will be with you. They will go away from you one by one. Okay, so some banquet hall deserted, whose lights are fled, whose garlands dead, and all but he departed, but he was left there alone. Okay, at that stage of life. And again, thus, in the stilly night, earth slumber's chain hath bound me, sad memory brings the light of other days around me. So this is again repeated. So here are two stanzas in this poem, and in these two stanzas, that refrain is repeated. Okay, so thus means so. That's why. Thus means that's why. Or so. So in the stilly night, before he goes to sleep, he remembers all his past days and feels sometimes sad and sometimes happy. Yes. So this is all about our poem of Oft in a Stilly Night, and here this is the reflection of a old man's life. Okay, so how he feels happy and how he feels sad. Okay, so only memories remain with the old man. There will be no dreams in his life. So he has to live his rest of life in his memory. Yes, so that's all about our poem. Hope you understand this well. So